I bring all this to you because in the beginning when I started this and we looked at creation, I told you that there is within the church, outside the church, and many people who believe that God may have started creation, but He allowed evolution and the process of billions or millions of years to bring about where we're at today. There are those who believe that because of God's laws of incest found in the Old Testament, that Cain couldn't have taken anybody from his family because that would be incest against the law. But the reason why the laws of incest were given in the Old Testament was because the bloodlines had become so polluted. But if you're talking about a pure bloodline, okay, that doesn't matter. So there are those who believe that God, through the process of evolution, would allow lower forms of life to come up until He got to the Homo sapien. And so that when there was Adam and Eve, there was cavemen and there was Neanderthal man and whoever else comes up in this theory, that there was other people, meaning God didn't just create Adam, as it says in Genesis, but there was a whole other creation. And if that's the case, then you have nothing to stand on for truth. Because if Genesis isn't true from start to finish, everything you believe in has its foundation there in the first 3 chapters. Everything. Read.
Acts chapter 17, verse 26 says, "And He has made from one blood every nation of men to dwell on the face of the earth."
And what blood?
One blood.
One. You understand? And what bloodline was that? The bloodline of Adam. From Adam comes all the nations of the earth. So when Cain is cast out and he becomes a vagabond, and he's worried that whoever finds me will kill me, he's talking about those of his family. Okay? And that as their families grew, and they understood this man killed his brother, who may be your uncle, and they want revenge. You understand how that works? But eventually, God cast them out, and this is where we'll finish this morning. Verse 15, "And the Lord said to him, Therefore, whoever kills Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him." How many fold?
7.
"And the Lord set a mark on Cain, lest anyone finding him should kill him. Then Cain went out from the presence of the Lord, and he dwelt in the land of Nod on the east of Eden. And Cain knew his wife." Where did she come from? Where did she come from? Okay, he kills his brother, gets cast out, and now he's married? Do you understand that he married his sister? Okay? And they reproduced and they had children, and because there's pure bloodlines, there wasn't a problem with why we have problems if we have incest today. You understand that? What was your text, Ricky? Out of how many people came all the nations?
One.
One blood. Do the math. Okay? If you're going to marry, it's going to be somebody from your family, be your sister. So, he marries his sister. Now think, God said if anybody kills Cain, they will be avenged sevenfold. Cain in his bloodline has a son named Lamech. He's a really good guy. He takes 2 wives, he kills somebody, and he says if Cain's going to be avenged sevenfold, I'll be avenged 77-fold. Do you think he was a follower of God? You start to see now the bloodline. God said to Eve that from your seed there will come one who will make war against the serpent's seed. Right? And that the serpent will bruise his heel, but he shall bruise his head. The 2 seeds, the seeds of God's true followers and the seeds of those who will follow Satan. You're starting to see the separation right here and right now. And that's what we'll put to next week. Our closing hymn is hymn number 287.